So, if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen that last week, my girlfriend and I we took a trip for our vacation, and we went down to Tennessee, and then the top corner of Georgia. There's Fort Oglethorpe, which apparently has a lot of women's Army Corps history, which is what my girlfriend's super into that. So apparently they were stationed at Fort Oglethorpe and everything. So we went down there too. But of course, a big thing in Tennessee that I had never been to before is Smoky Mountain Knife Works, which I've bought a whole lot of knives from them over the years and everything. So we ended up going down to Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and that was an awesome experience. Um, that place is huge. They have everything, everything from like your cheap gas station knives that I would never buy to super high end like custom knives. They even had some like older knives and some stuff that's not on the website. When I was there, they still had a couple Great Eastern Cutlery 32 engineers, some Jig Bone, Blue Micarta, and Cocobolo. And I was thinking about getting one of those, but I was pretty happy with my blue micarta one, and I don't really feel like I need to have another one. Or is that Rich Light? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. It's like the same thing. Um, but anyway, in front of me here, I have a Rough Rider Reserve knife that I knew I wanted, but since I knew we were going down there, I figured I'd just buy it down there and save myself some money on shipping and everything. But anybody who's been around the channel for a little while will know I'm into these Daddy Barlows, Granddaddy Barlows, whatever you want to call them, the big like 5-inch handled Barlow. Um, really like them. And when I saw that Rough Rider Reserve was doing one, of course I wanted it because this is a Daddy Granddaddy Barlow with D2 blade steel, which is a probably an upgrade as far as edge retention from like 1095 or something. I don't quite like it as much as 1095 just because it doesn't really patina like 1095. From what I understand, D2 will kind of darken over time, but it's certainly not like 1095 is, where, as soon as you cut some food, it changes color, which is really what I like. But, everybody likes different things. D2 is certainly better than like 440 or something. And it's fairly inexpensive, I guess, because, a lot of companies are using it on their more affordable knives. These Rough Rider Reserve knives are pretty well made. Of course, you get the metal tube and some other nonsense in there. Not worth going over. I've done a bunch of videos on Rough Rider Reserve knives. You get a metal tube, and it's wrapped in some paper, some brown paper, and like cloth, like a glasses cleaning cloth or a lens cleaning cloth. The cloth is actually really. I have one of the cloths out right here. The cloth is actually pretty nice. It's like a soft, like what you would use to clean off your glasses or like a lens. So it is a nice cloth for something like that. I don't really know why they include it with a knife. I guess to wipe off like the blade and bolsters and stuff. Um, but that's not really stuff that I'm concerned about. It's about my light. Um, but yeah, so Daddy, Granddaddy Barlow. This one's not quite 5 inches. It's like 3 3/4. It looks like. Blade is 3 3/4 about. Cutting edge of about 3.5. So maybe slightly smaller than some Daddy, Granddaddy Barlows, but still a fairly large knife. The action on this one's really good. Does have a half stop. Um, the handle is interesting because it's like a dual color micarta, red and like brown or natural. It's got this little black spacer, which I think might be G10, but I'm not sure. So interesting looking handle. I kind of wish they would have just stuck with either just all red or all brown. And I'm kind of hoping maybe they do this with like a bone handle at some point because I really love that. Um, but this is what they released. This is what I have. I believe these have stainless steel bolsters and, nickel, silver shield, and pins, I'm guessing. Yeah, they don't look like brass or anything. This knife has a lot of pins holding it together compared to like your normal Granddaddy Barlow normally has like, one here, and one here. That's like your traditional, slip joint knife kind of things. This knife has a lot of pins holding it together, so that's interesting. You get your lined or threaded or whatever you want to call that bolster. You get three there. Little fancy touch there. Like I said, the action's really good. Good looking clip blade. Rather slender for a Granddaddy Barlow or Daddy Barlow. Match strike nail nick. Match strike long pull. I kind of wish they'd stop doing the match strike thing because to me it's not practical and it looks, I don't know. I'm so used to seeing match strike nail nicks on Rough Rider knives that I now think that match strike nail nicks and stuff are cheap because that's all Rough Rider uses for whatever reason. Um, but yeah, fit and finish on this knife's really good. It's got brass liners, of course. You can't really see any gaps or anything, so that's awesome. Fit and finish looks really good on this one. This knife doesn't have any blade play, I don't think. No blade play. Really good action, or walk and talk, as they say. Um, yeah, pretty happy with this knife. This retail Smoky Mountain knife works for I think $49.99, so just at $50, which is a really good price for something like this. A large, well-made slip joint pocket knife. That's a really good price for it, in my opinion. I am kind of hoping, like I said, at some point they do some bone handle or even wood. I would love this in like an ebony wood or something. That'd be awesome. But I'd really love to have it in some either just smooth bone or like a jig bone. That would be awesome. I don't know if they'll do that, but we'll see. But yeah, I really think Smoky Mountain Knife Works is doing a really good job with these Rough Rider Reserve knives, and I've been really happy with just about all the ones that I've gotten. I haven't really carried any of them a whole lot just because I have so many knives, and typically if I'm carrying a knife, I want it to be like a lot of times I'll carry my Great Eastern cutlery knives, my French knives, um, the like Arthur Wright and Son knives, and a case, and like maybe like a case Stockman or something, and that's like typically what I carry, um, because Great Eastern cutlery is just so good, and then my French knives I really like my quite a few of my French knives that I have, so I like to carry them a lot. And I like my case 47 Stockman especially. Really like that, even though it's yellow Delrin, which isn't my favorite. So typically I carry something, carbon steel that I really enjoy and everything. But if I'm going to carry a Rough Rider Reserve, I think this one's probably going to be the highest thing on that list because it is a pattern that I really like. The only thing they could have done to make this more attractive to me is do it in carbon steel, and that would have been awesome. But I think for most people, this is a really nice slip joint pocket knife. And I don't think most people care about the fact that it's not carbon steel. Some people probably prefer it. Now, that being said, D2 is a tool steel, so it isn't technically, I think technically it's stainless, but like just barely. So, like I said, it will stain over time and everything, just not like 1095 does. So you really have to, use it and carry it and everything. But that being said, it will rust a lot easier than like your typical stainless steel. So that's a thing. I think the edge on this knife is pretty good. Oh, I think maybe I touched this up. Yeah, but the edge came pretty good. I think I ran it on my ceramic rod because it did have a little roll in the edge, like right in the middle, where my guess would be maybe it contacted the backspring one time, or maybe something else. But it did have a slight like roll in the edge, so I did touch it up with my ceramic rod. This does have a stop pin, and I think most of these Rough Rider Reserve knives are running on washers. I think, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I think I can see them there. Yeah, I think they're running on washers, which is interesting. It's an easier way to, I guess, probably avoid blade play while still having a pretty good action is to just use those phosphor bronze or brass or whatever washers in there. So a little more modern way to assemble a slip joint pocket knife. I think Rosecraft does that as well. Um, so yeah, Rough Rider Reserve, Granddaddy or Daddy Barlow. I'm pretty happy with it. I think this one's well put together and everything, and it was $50, which I think is certainly reasonable for a knife of this size and quality. That being said, if you're looking for alternatives, I don't know if you can still get the Remington Musket uh, Granddaddy Barlows, but those are also really good. And I have two of them. And I got the Delrin one for around $50, I think. However, that was several years ago, so I don't know what they go for now. But yeah, really nice knife. Really happy with it for the $50 it cost. And Smoky Mountain Knife Works was awesome. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope you have a good day.